Hey guys, it's Tay of Moshpit Stables here, and I'm very excited to share with you my very first collection tour. I don't know if I'm going to be doing 1 or 2 of these videos a year. We'll see how that plays out. I'd really appreciate any feedback, and if you guys would like to see unboxing videos for the rest of this year. I did join the Stablemates Club for this year again, which I'm super excited about. So those would be guaranteed only if you guys want to see those, so please let me know. Other than that, it's going to be just other model horse show videos. Anyways, let's get right into it, and thank you very much for tuning in. Alrighty, so top shelf, we are going to go top right to left, and then bottom shelf left to right, because my traditionals are organized by color. And please bear with me, because your girl is not that tall, so I'm on a stool for this first shelf. Jumping right in, we have Oliver from Breakfast 2019. He was a celebration model for that year. Next to him, we have Regular Run Paint Me a Pepto. We have Tractor Supply Zeke, Glossy Benelli with his second place ribbon. So the way that I keep track of my traditional model placings on the shelf is I give them little neck ribbons with the appropriate placing color. I have everybody's ribbons stored away in a 3-ring binder right now. But he's from Brerfest 2020. Then we have Tractor Supply JC. Then right down here up front, will focus? Maybe, maybe not. This is adorable little koi fish custom on the Suncatcher stablemate. I got him because I also raise and I breed molly fish. So I thought that he was a cool intermixing of my two hobbies together. But he's the only... Well, no, I have one other custom in my collection that you'll be seeing soon. But then here we have Dinash's Northern Tempest from Brerfest 2021, celebration model. Then we have Josie right next to her, also from the same year. Then we have a 2018 designer horse-ish. He's not my designer horse, I got him secondhand, but I am a lover of all unnatural, unusual, well, not necessarily unnatural, but just unusual, unique, oddball markings on real-life horses. So he's the only model in my collection with a badger face, and that is the only reason why he stays. Moving on, we have the Collector Club Appreciation Glossy Ideal Paint Horse. Then we have Kalahari. So unfortunately I did not get picked for Kalahari, but I had a friend who lives close by. We've actually been in each other's mutual circulation for quite a while. Then I found out that she was a collector. Then I had a model that she wanted, so we met up in person and we did a partial trade for Mr. Kalahari. So I just think that it's cool that he has a fun little story like that. Next to him we have Pirouette from Brerfest 2006. And based on his manufacture date being made in 2006, he is the oldest model in my collection. And longtime grail. Next to him, we have the classic Freedom Series Pentaloosa, who I got for Christmas. Again, if you know me, my favorite color is like anything dun, mostly Dunalinos, as you'll see on the second shelf. And my favorite pattern is a split tie. Ooh, nearly fell. My favorite pattern is a split tie between Splash White and Pentaloosas. So that is why he is the only classic that I have in my collection right now. Down here onto my second shelf, we have Garrett. And I'm going to be bold. I'm going to say that he is a milestone in my collection for the sake that he is my first ever Breyer wildlife model. I was not drawn for him because this was the year that I took off from the Collector Club. So I had a really good friend, she looked out for me, and she found somebody listing him for sale, and so she set up the whole transaction, which I'm super thankful for. So she, without her, I probably wouldn't have gotten him. But it was really funny because at the exact time that Garrett came out, I started seriously looking for Inari, the piebald elk, because I was like, oh, they don't have anything else like Inari, so... And I want a wildlife animal really bad. I really want the elk. And then Garrett came out. So I figured it would be much easier to get Garrett right now and keep waiting on Inari because I've already been waiting, what's a little bit longer, right? So anyways, that's a fun story behind Garrett. who I love and will never be leaving. And we have Miss Elsa. So I was in the collector club 4 years in a row. I entered for literally everything because I just wanted to be picked. That was it. And that year, well, the year that Elsa came out, I was finally selected for Cardinal, but I had to sell him for personal reasons, so I was so bummed out. I was like, the one and only time that I got picked for a model, I had to sell him. And then, at the end of the year, redeemed myself. I was a little bit down knowing that I wouldn't rejoin the clubs for the following year. And then I got selected for Miss Elsa, so she's staying forever. And by the same logic as Garrett being a milestone as my first wildlife model, Elsa is a milestone for my first ever, other domestic animal mold. Next to her, we have Fabio. I was in the club when he came out, so I call myself very fortunate enough to snag him, because if I remember right, he was one that sold out on the website really fast. So I, red done, splash white, had to get him. Right down here, will we focus? Yes, no, maybe so, no, not really. Well, this is originally she was the quarter horse from the Tractor Supply blind bag series. And then I got her in a trade because she is actually a etchy custom of my, the last real horse that I had, Miss Sassy, who I unfortunately had to sell too soon due to personal reasons. So she is a etchy custom portrait of my old girl Sassy. So she is the only other, the only other custom that I have in my collection. Only those two. I don't want to start collecting any more customs. Then right after her, we have Mr. Midas, Mr. Pretty Boy. So I count him, maybe I just hold myself to a looser standard than a lot of other collectors. I'm not saying this to make me feel special at all, but compared to what I used to collect, I would definitely say that he's a milestone in my collection, because he is one of only 250 made, and he's hand painted in New Jersey, who is it? Ambrose. I think Ambrose is $375 or $350, something like that. So Midas here is a little bit rarer, but under the same conditions, made under the same conditions as Ambrose. And beautiful splash white, 2 blue eyes. How could I not? Unfortunately, I was not drawn for him, but I won him off of a Facebook auction, and the lady that I won from, she actually she hosts and she is the creator of Model Horse University. You should definitely go check that out. They have a lot of fun classes that are right now there for free. A little bit of some shameless self-promotion right here. One of the classes is actually how to make my traditional scale halters that you see here. Well, except for this one. I did not make this one or the one on Josie. Did I? I honestly can't remember, so I won't say for sure. But I know that I did not make this one either. But this one, you guys down here, your halters, and your halters I made. So I have a free class on the Model Horse University website. Just find the Find a Course tab. It is free. You should definitely go check it out. And if you have any classes that you want to submit for the hobby, absolutely do it. We need more. Well, they need more. But I would love to see more model horse content myself. So moving on, Midas, cool story. Go check out Model Horse University. Take a class. Give a class. Moving on, we have the glossy Rainbow Pentaloosa. Yeah, no, her name's Rainbow. But glossy Pentaloosa on the Weather Girl mold from the Weather Girl Treasure Hunt series. So she has another funny story. At the time, I was like, I just want to have her, so I don't care if I have matte or glossy. So once I saved up, I had a little bit of it was burning a hole in my pocket. So I was like, frantically searching for her. Where am I going to find her? Who's going to pop up? So I had several pop up and they were out of my price range. So, moving on. And then finally somebody with a glossy came out to me and they were like, hey, I have this girl. So I was like, oh, that's awesome. I don't want to lead you on. I may or may not have what you're asking for, because I understand glossy goes for more than matte, and I have just enough saved for the matte. And the lady was super nice. She was like, you know what? I just want her gone. I don't really do much with her, so we made an agreement that she would sell to me at that price, and if I ever found myself in the same position, I would do the same thing for somebody else. So I still stand by that, and I'm going to hold that up, because I just thought that was one of the coolest things that somebody in the hobby could do for me. And I 100% plan on paying that quote-unquote debt back. Then right here, we have this adorable, cute little calico kitty. If you saw my Northwest Congress video, you saw her. I have a plan to repaint her as a memorial piece to my late barn cat, Kellen. Right up here, he is like, though not incredibly rare, he's like the pride and joy of my traditionals right now. He pretty much has been ever since I've gotten him. But this is the Collector Club Glossy Appreciation Ideal Quarter Horse. And he is my favorite boy. I traded a Glossy Dominante. That's a Bay Andalusian, right? I think so. Yeah, I had the Glossy Bay Andalusian from that year, and I traded for this guy, because I am a stock person through and through. Here we have this beautiful sign. I won this at Emerald Downs in the raffle. I absolutely love it. I just put, it came with this really pretty yellow background, but I put my signature color behind it. I'm keeping the original because sometimes I like to swap them out. Next, we have Tractor Supply Jolene, Tractor Supply Saldiago, if I am pronouncing that right. This is Peter Stoyne Corduroy. He is a factory custom pony. Well, he has the roached mane, and I think that's his only customization. I'm not too familiar with all of Stone's factory customs. But he is Equilocity, I want to say, run of only 100. Then we have Dundee, longtime grill. I've had him for 2 years now, and now I have plans on selling him. And I'm not happy with that. The reason that I am thinking about selling him, he is actually advertised on Facebook, and no one has reached out to me yet. But the reason that I'm thinking about selling him is I only want to collect what immediately brings me joy when I look at it on the shelf. And because I'm getting a little bit more serious about showing, I want models that place a little bit higher than 5th. His 1/3 place that you see that he has, that's in collectability. But he would make a much better show horse in performance or photo shows. And right now, I just want to stick to halter and collectability. So for that reason, I'm thinking that I'm trying to make my peace with letting him go to fund for other models that do fit my collecting goals a little bit better. Next to him, we have the Brerfest 2021 7 Art Surprise model. I freaked out when it was Dundee. My favorite traditional mold is a split tie between Geronimo and Dundee. I do officially have a conga of Geronimo. I do have 3 of you guys. And then I'm very close to having a conga, well, maybe not, depending if Dundee leaves or stays, a conga of Dundee. But when I saw, those Dundee, I was freaking out. I'm like, this is great. But then he came out as a Palomino Pentaloosa. So I was like, I don't care. I'm going to use up all my luck if I even just get the matte Pentaloosa. And thankfully I did. So the Brer gods were happy with me. They heard me screaming. And I got him directly from Brerfest. So that was amazing. You know, my first ever virtual Briar Fest, and I got the exact surprise model that I wanted. So he is not going anywhere either. Last but not least, from my traditionals, we have Matt Cheesecake, who, again, I didn't really want to sell this boy. I wanted to be happy with him just being in my collection. But I retired him from my show string because, let's see that, like, the point of his hip? It's really sort of hard to see because, I mean, he's so light as a model as is. But you can, ooh, there you go. There you go. Directly on his hip, on the muscling. He hasn't been stored in any weird fabric. He hasn't even been stored away. Like, he's just been sitting on the shelf. Again, like, right there in the creases, in the wrinkle creases where his thigh sort of meets into his, I don't even know right now. Wow, I'm blanking. But he's just got some weird paint discoloration for absolutely no rhyme or reason that I have found. No smoking, no fragrances, no nothing. His paint is just discoloring like that. So I'm very I'm very upset about that because I used to have both matte and glossy cheesecake. And I let the glossy one go because the matte was like limited to like, what was it, 1,500 pieces. He was a set number. And the glossies for that year, they were by pre-order, so there was like 2,000 something glossies. So I was like, oh, I'll just keep the ever so slightly rarer variation, and I'll be awesome. And now it's kicking me in the butt. I'm not happy about that. So for that, you know, for the same reasons, I can't show him, so he needs to go and make room and make a budget for models that I can show. And he will come with his adorable custom-made halter by Infinity Briars. She made this just for him. And it won't focus, but it has his name. It has cheesecake on it. Alrighty, so moving on to minis. My minis are organized by date acquired. They are no longer organized by color like my traditionals. The reason that I don't do that anymore is because every time I got a new one, I might have to pick up like anywhere between maybe 20, 50 models just to pick one up, move over a spot to make room for another, and that had a lot of casualties, let's put it that way, to my models because of the domino effect. So they are no longer organized by color, which was very pleasing to the eye in my opinion, but it's just not worth it. So now they are all organized by date acquired, starting off in 2018. I have been collecting a lot longer than 2018. I just sold all my stablemates prior to 2018 because I did not fit my current collection goals. So without any more rambling, I hope, let's move on to Stablemates Club 2018. Here we have Kahona. We have Sapporo, probably pronouncing that wrong. We have Aiden. Oh, well, before I get any further, I should say, the way I tracked up my live show placings on the shelf with the minis is roses in their appropriate placing color. So he took a 3rd place, 4th place, and etc. So where'd we go? We had Aiden, Raleigh. We have, no, not Darwin. You're Darley. Yeah, you're Darley. Darwin is Mini-Me Dundee. I am not going to be able to pronounce this guy's name, but this is Firio, I think, of Guinevere, maybe. Here we have Grayson. And then we have Mini-Me All Glory. Mini-Me Pecos, I believe. Not even going to try to pronounce your name. I know what it is, but I do not know how to pronounce it. We have Mini-Me Simba. Mini Emperador das Agua, I think. Mini-Me Brass Hat. And then adorable little Mini-Me Oliver. Oof, yikes. I did not realize how difficult these leaves were going to make filming this. my bad. Moving back to Stablemates Club models. There we are. Here we have Iris, the double dilute Appaloosa Iris, the gambler's choice for that year. And then back to Briarfest models, we have Chiffon, Toe Tapper. Oops. We have a Dante. Oops. Back to Stablemates Clubs, we have Mirror Auto, we have Wolfgang. Briarfest, we have Tashar. Ooh. Stablemates Club, we have Priscilla, Sylvester, we have Corbin, we have the original Django, shoot, we have Claus, that's his name, the rearing Appaloosa right there, that's Claus. Ooh, there we go. And then right next to him, this gal right here, she is one of the crown jewels in my collection, a lot of sentimental value, because she is a 2018 designer horse painted by Missy Fox, and I was so happy because it was right after this they took like the chips off of their designer horse program, to my knowledge. Well, I mean, at least the chip. Well, this cutting chip for sure. But I designed her to be a minimal splash white Dunalino, and she has 2 blue eyes, and I love her to pieces. If she was a real life horse, literally my dream horse. So I'm so happy that I had the opportunity to get her right before she was, well, at least the mold was pulled from the designer horse program so far. Let's see. Next to her, we have Florian from the Stablemates Club. Back to Briarfest models, we have Sky, Aaron. I believe your name is Gail. We have Victory. I can't even remember this Rivette's name to try to pronounce it. Then next to him, let's see, right here, he's a Peter Stone Thoroughbred chip. His manufactured name is Mini-Me Mosaic. I believe he's a run of only 10. He is the non-factory custom version. So I believe, like, he had the windswept, or like one of the windy mane options, I believe. So I think between the factory custom and the non-factory custom, I believe there's 20 altogether, if I'm remembering right. But I love him to pieces. Also one with extreme sentimental value that is now part of my never sell collection. At one point I did try to sell him, and the person that I was advertising him to, I mean, I understand. Glossies are very, very hard to photograph, but she accused me of trying to sell a horse basically in body condition after I said that it was, you know, photo show quality, possibly live show quality. So I get it. You know, their glossy photos are hard to decipher at times, but I was not trying to lead her on at all. And so I took him to shows. As you can see, he does well. We have 2 firsts, a champion, and a reserve champion. And then also this guy. It is beautiful. And I still cannot believe that he is the model to win me my very first rosette. So needless to say, he's not going anywhere. I adore him now. But I got him because he has a somatic mutation on his front right shoulder. And the documentation that I made for him finally paid off. So makes me super happy. Next to him, we have who are you from? Sultan from the Briar Stablemates Club. And then I don't have green ribbons for 6th place, so I had to substitute with purple. But then we have the Palomino, Sabino, Overo, whatever pattern he is. Valerio from, yeah, you are Stablemates Club. And then we have Coco from the very first year that they did the Stablemates Club. Starting the front row on the first shelf of minis, we have the original Cassidy. We have from the All-American Trio, this is Briarfest 2008, 2007, somewhere along that timeline. So what sets her apart from the other, I mean, there's a few releases pretty similar to this girl right here, but her telltale difference is her extreme dun markings all the way along her back. So no, she's not a brindle, just like this is not a brindle, and I will die on this hill. They are both extreme duns. So I got a lot of nice comments from judges about her coloring. Sorry about my cat in the background. And then this is the, like I said, quote-unquote, brindle Diesel. I show him as a skewed dun, and he does wonderfully, as you can tell. Let's see, this like coral salmony ribbon, that is reserve champion, and the magenta ribbon, the magenta roses are champions. But he is one of my favorite stablemates in my collection. Definitely a crown jewel for sure. Up there with my Design a Horse Chip and a few others that you'll see down here shortly. This is Matt Atticus from the Stablemates Club. Oscar from Briarfest 2010. I will keep showing this model until somebody gives this poor boy like a 6th place, and then I will die happy. I have spent so many hours on his documentation, it isn't even funny. I have now been enlightened that it is the mold going against him, not even his color. Ooh, not his color, not my documentation, it's his actual mold. He just isn't as competitive with the newer molds coming out for Arabians. But I will keep trying, and he will keep going to shows until something happens. And then everyone will be sick and tired of him, and they won't have to see him anymore. It'll be fine. Next, we have hands down. Let's adjust this brightness a little bit. That's a little bit better. This is hands down. This is a, well, ornament turned stablemate, just like Tashar. Way back there, that goofy little cartoony guy. So the only reason I have this guy is because I have a goal of having one of every stablemate molds ever produced. And he's actually really good condition, despite he was shipped to me in a bubble mailer with no extra padding. And if you guys have this one in your collection, you know he is not the same plastic as any of these guys. He is much more fragile. So I've been debating trying to show him, but you know what? We'll do it. You're going to Emerald Downs. You heard it here first. Hands down is going to Emerald Downs. Next to him we have Lyric. He's from the Premier Club. Ooh, I don't know what just happened. But he is, well, his colorway is a Mini-Me Troubadour. But I love him. One of my favorite ponies in my collection. We have Hendrik, who's a Stablemates Club model, as well as Tobias. After them, we have this set of 3 from Briarfest. We have Loxley, Pendragon, and Into the Woods. Right next to them, we have the Donalino Icelandic from the Stablemates Club. He was the Gambler's mold for that year. I know what his Briar name is. I know I can't pronounce it. Pretty sure I might be a little bit dyslexic because I want to call him Flicker, and I know that's not right. But every time I see his name pop up in my brain, it reads Flicker. So, I don't know. Next to him, this is Raider. I keep accidentally calling him Radar because I used to work at a Arabian reining hunt seat barn, and one of the horses there was Radar, but he is Raider. Next to him, we have Miss Dahlia from the Stablemates Club. I love her to pieces. Next, we have Twist. I believe the Clydesdale foal here is Letty, and this is Addie. Or maybe it's the other way around. I got a 50-50 chance of getting it right, so we're rolling with it. Next, this is Chalice. I adore him. I love his coloring so much. He's beautiful and everything that I want in a stablemate. So he's pretty cool. He's another one that I just want him to place. I see other people show him well as a variety of breeds and nothing. Like, I'm not trying to copycat. I'm doing my own. I see what other people show him as, but I do my own research after the fact, and I make my own documentation, and nothing has worked out for this guy yet. So he is going through his like 3rd or 4th breed change with a whole new documentation. So I'm hoping this is the one. I finally found something that worked for him, so fingers crossed. This is Sao Paulo and Bahia. I don't remember which Briarfest they were from, but they were from the same year together. Here's another crown jewel in my stablemates collection. This is Puget. Being a Washington native, he means a lot to me. I really want to have Redmond, Duwamish, and Rainier. Rainier and Duwamish being like my top 2 traditional holy grails right now, which realistically I'll probably never own both, let alone either of them. So I figured I could settle with Puget right here. So I tried to get him for Briarfest like 2 years ago, and I was duped. I got scammed. Thankfully, I got my money back because they weren't that good of a scammer, and the price was a little bit too good to be true, so this guy right here I paid full price for, but regardless, I'm happy to have him, and hopefully I can get his placings up with a new breed assignment and new documentation, so fingers crossed. Next to him, we have Dax from the Stablemates Club. Not terribly fond of him, especially the color shift on realistic colored models. But again, he's here because he is a special run and he, I have one on his mold now. So he counts for something in my collection, even if he might not show well. I'm going to take him to Emerald Downs just to see what happens, if anything. I'm not expecting much, but it'd be cool if he did do. Sorry, I had to pause because the garbage truck came. But he is Doc by Alex Dart, sculpted by Alex Dart, produced by Hold Your Horses, and I love him to pieces. Next we have the original mini Alberosa. So now we have the mirror image, flipped, mini Alberosa. But this is the original mini Alberosa from the Briarfest 20th anniversary commemorative set. So he has faint ear rubs and hoof rubs, but this is as close as I'm going to get to owning the original guy. So here he stays happily. Next to him we have Rue, also a run of 200 pieces, because him and Puget are from Collector Club Vents, so there's only 200 made of each. And for that, I think they're both tied in my collection for being the rare stablemate. Oh, hi there. Bye. That was Misfit. So it was really funny because I've been showing this guy pretty much since I've had him. He's just a gray Andalusian. Judges know what a gray Andalusian is, right? Everyone does. So I've been showing him in, his appropriate class. No placings, no nothing. Just for fun, because I love making documentation. Just for fun, I was like, well, what if I put documentation down for a very common color on a very common breed? He took first, and then he went to take Champion in his little subdivision area because I put a reference card of a gray Andalusian. Nothing else, no explanation, just a color reference. And he did amazing. So I thought it was just so funny. excuse Misfit in the background. I just thought it was funny because, you know, a horse that you shouldn't need documentation for hasn't been given the light of day, finally given documentation, and, you know, he did amazing. So anyways, here we have Shelbourne from the Stablemates Club. Then we have Bretzel from Briarfest. She's a ticket model. Sir, excuse you. Ticket model, these three are from the same year. But I don't even remember these guys' names to even try to pronounce them, unfortunately. This is Jameson from Stablemates Club. Anaya from Briarfest. I don't remember the year. I feel bad because I don't even remember your name. I'm not a deco person. I say that as if you count my clearware resin and Kalahari. I know he's a decorator. So technically I have 3 decorators in my collection. I had to have this guy because he was a gambler's choice, and I thought that he was the cutest out of 3 of them. I love the shade of blue on this guy specifically. He's like much more teal, closer to my signature color than like sky blue. He looks more sky blue on the camera, but in person his hue is definitely a bit more turquoise. Next to him, we have from the Premier Club, this is Giorgio. I think that's how you pronounce it. So this was the first and the only year that I had been in the Premier Club so far. I had a plan on selling 2 of the traditional models and keeping the one that I liked the most and the stablemate. I ended up selling all 3 traditionals because none of them were my cup of tea, unfortunately. But I kept the stablemate. And so far he has done amazing for me so far. He's the only model in my collection that my dad has named. So he's pretty cool because that show, well, his very first show, my dad got to come and he got to see him take, for his, the draft division, got to take champion. So that was a pretty cool experience that I got to share with my dad. This is Kit from the Stablemates Club. This is a Mappa from, I don't even remember which Briarfest. But this was a long time stablemate grail achieved thanks to Emma of Mitten Model Horses. So he has a lot of sentimental value as well, and he's super cool in my opinion. So I'm very, very happy to have him and to have obtained him in that manner. Next we have Mini Fireheart from the Premier Club. Come for me, because I am not a Fireheart lover. I like him. There's nothing wrong with him other than, he's just big. Especially in traditional form. I do not want him taking up my shelves. But funny story behind this guy. I have to have one of every mini, right? And I haven't had a Mini Fireheart yet. So one of my friends, she is obsessed with Fireheart. So she's going, she's talking to me how much she loves him, and I'm like, that's so cool. I just don't get the hype. Maybe because I just don't have one in hand yet, and maybe if I have them in person, it'd be different. I wasn't baiting at all. But she went out of her way. She got this guy for me. There's more to it. So I am a modmin. I forget which is which. Admin moderator of a sales group on Facebook. And so I saw it was this exact model. I saw his listing and it already sold for a good price. And I was like, shoot. Because I really need one on that mold. That's a really good price. That's awesome. Somebody had a great day today. And then so I sent that screenshot to my friend. And I was like, somebody just got a steal of a deal on this Mini Fireheart. And she was like, surprise, boo, it's for you. She was so tired of me not sharing the same appreciation for Fireheart as she does. So she got him for me, and, and sent him to me. And she was like, now there's no excuse for you to not like Fireheart. So he has, he has a very, in our opinion, a very entertaining story behind him. He's super cool. So he's not going anywhere. He's a cute guy. After him, so this last year was the year that I took a break from all the clubs. So the same lady that gifted me this mini Fireheart, she sold me the copies from the Stablemates Club of this last year of molds that I needed because I didn't join. So I thought that was incredibly generous of her. She's such a sweet person. And unfortunately, I don't remember either of your names, but two vintage Arabian molds, which I needed. I'm not big on vintage molds at all. I'm very much all about modern molds. But these two are super well done, so I love them. I'm very happy having these two in my collection. Very last row of minis. Here we have Sidewinder. I think her name is Eclat. I'm probably not pronouncing that right. I believe these two are like near vintage regular run stablemates. These two were also gifted to me by the same lady who gave me Fireheart and sold me these two. So they also have sentimental value in my collection. Here we have Mini Pearl, Hames, Whip, and Teamster from this last Briarfest. And then here, from this full to this full right here, let's see, these guys were all from Tractor Supply last year, which are now being produced as regular runs for this year, which I have a bittersweet relationship with. I mean, it's awesome that they are more readily available to more collectors, but at the same time, I was like really hoping for more new stablemates that we haven't seen yet. Even though most of what I collect anymore, as you can tell, is like special runs of some kind. But I'm happy that more people have more chances to get them and love on them, because some of these guys are really cool. Especially this Blue Roan Cassidy. I haven't seen a bad one of her at all. Or this Red Dun Peruvian Paso. Also super, super nice. So all of these guys were Tractor Supply from last year and are now regular runs for the rest of this year, I believe. And then this Wakalusa, I know you were a Tractor Supply blind bag. You're a blind bag model as well, but I can't remember if he's from Tractor Supply or Walmart, or maybe not even Walmart. I'm not sure, but they were both blind bags. But I think if I had to pick between the two of them, the Wakalusa is my favorite. And then over here, Mini Zafira Zarafina. I think her stablemate name is Akila. I'm not sure. But she is super pretty. She is the matte version. I didn't care for her as a traditional at all, but I'm biased. I'll say it. I'm biased. As a stablemate, she's amazing. Then we have Fandango. He is also amazing. I used to say all the time, I'm not an Arabian person. I used to own Arabian, used to work at an Arabian barn. I'm pretty sure if I had to do a head count on like my molds breed-wise, I probably have more Arabians than I do stock horses, which is pretty sad. But no longer can say that I'm not an Arabian gal because they have taken over. Here we have Brio. This is a brand new mold from the Stablemates Club this last year. Unfortunately, mine is very tippy. I don't know if all of them are or if it's just my shelves. So he is sleeping just like the other troublemakers. And then last clearly on this shelf, this is a Nero. He was the bonus Stablemates Club model. But after him, he is currently sunbathing, but he's the G2 Cantering Clydesdale, the really funky looking guy. But he's like the Palomino Sabino Splash White he was like from the medieval play set. So he's sunbathing in hopes to get ready for Emerald Downs. And with that, that includes all of my models. That is everything that I own. So thank you very much for tuning in and bearing with me while I make this. I'm excited to fine-tune this a little bit and get better at these in the future. And if you want to see more and you want to see unboxing videos, please let me know. I hope you have a great rest of your day.